Gulf Coast region has such a ties to the cultural economy that we produce here in Louisiana that it's one of the reasons so many folks come to visit us in this region. And one thing that the Chamber wanted to do when we decided to purchase this building and move our chamber here was we have the chamber all located upstairs, but then downstairs here at 1808 Front Street, we put together an artist co-op where we have our anchor tenants that are the fabulous coffee shop that we have that has coffee and pastries and soups and salads. So we invite people to come in, and while they're having their breakfast or their lunch, they get to look around at all of the local artists that we have here in our region. So we have lots of original pieces of art that are available here within the cultural district of Slidell. We're in the cultural district, the historic district, the Main Street district. We have our anchor tenants, that the jeweler Bad Nola, that is Born Again Designs jewelry. We have our in-house potter that has classes, Pottery Studio KLH, and we also have Adam Sambola, who's a very famous, well-known local artist that's here and has his own gallery here. And on top of that, we have over 20 local artists that display their work here. And so it's constantly changing the art that is available. We have a waiting list for new artists that want to come in. We have books and support a lot of our local nonprofits when they have things to sell they have here. So it's just a great assortment of the cultural diversity that we have here in our region.
Moved over here and moved into what I thought was just an oasis. It was just unbelievable. Huge trees, big, beautiful piece of property. I cut trees down on the site, milled them, and built my studio out of those very trees, and functioned happily and successfully for a number of years. Then Katrina hit, and it turned my world, like everybody else's world, upside down. So the pine trees are 75, 80, 85 years old around here. And that's what I built my studio in the middle of because I loved it so much. Well, I have none of that left, and what did I do after Katrina? After I cried a little bit and turned around in my shoes a little bit, finally figured out, well, I'm a woodworker, I can cut the trees and use that as material. So the proverbial lemonade out of lemons, I guess, is where I wound up. I spent 6 weeks, me and 3 other guys, cutting for 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, milling predominantly the hardwoods on my property. And a lot of people don't realize we have cherry, oak, a lot of pecan, holly, sassafras, or a lot of hardwoods that grow in St. Tammany Parish. It's mostly known for the pine trees, but we had a lot of hardwoods as well. So I spent, again, 6 weeks milling lumber, milling these trees, trying to salvage as much as I can, and I probably have 2 lifetimes worth of lumber now available, but cherry and pecan and all the woods that I love working with are at my disposal now. So most of the wood that I'm working with these days are Katrina wood. It changed the way, I guess I think about this often, it changed the way that I work now. I'm probably a little more spontaneous in terms of the concepts that I work with. I'm a little bit freer, a little bit easier, a little bit looser with the work, although woodworking is not particularly a spontaneous thing. You have to be a craftsman, and it takes a little bit of time. But so the fabrication process can be a little slow and a little tedious sometimes, but it loosened me up a lot in how I work, and at least how I think about my work. I came out of it all kind of with that same attitude of, hey, we better live this now. Instead of hanging out waiting to live it, let's live it now. And I think that's what I mean when I say it's kind of loosened me up a little bit. It's allowed me some flexibilities. I've allowed myself some flexibilities, I guess is what I mean. It lent a different level of credibility to the art world, because I think even people who didn't consider themselves particularly creative found an outlet in some kind of creativity, whether it be writing or music or visual arts. I mean, creativity is not just visual arts, it's all of that. And I think in some ways it kind of put a little bit more focus and a little bit more emphasis. It made a lot of people discover their own creativity because of that need for response, that need for expression. I think that need comes out when you go through that kind of that emotional impact that Katrina had on us all.
I think a real important thing is that our president at the time of the parish, Kevin Davis, and our city mayor, Ben Morris, both understood the importance of the arts and how it was going to bring people back to life and to put aside the bad things, the terrible things, the sad things that happened to so many of us, and help us to find a new leaf and to go on and move forward. And I think because of the resilience of citizens in general and artists in particular, we were able to look to new venues and think out of the box and open up and explore ways to make that happen. And I think, for example, we lost our business of 52 years, Slidell Cleaners, and we turned that into Dubuisson Gallery. And then this building, which is new gallery in the area in Old Town also, and it's Artist Galleries DeJuno by Julie DeJuno has opened it. And down the street we had a former interior design shop, and it was a retail store as well that Palmer Lowry owned for years, and now that's Keith Delsbarger's Delsbarger Studio, and on the other half a hair salon. So people just continue to look for new ways, new things.
All of the murals that are in Old Town that artists have done, it just shows that there is an arts community here. And most of the artists are very active in promoting each other and promoting the arts and trying to get more business into Slidell for people to come and think of us as an arts community. There are a series of pieces that I do that are kind of a crackle effect, and those are inspired by just the cracked mud that you would see all over the place really. After Katrina, you just walk around and you'd see this dried mud that cracked in these really, I thought, unique and interesting patterns. So there are some pieces that I do to kind of emulate that look of the cracked mud. I have students that come to take classes, and the classes are in 6-week sessions, and it's a 3-hour class once a week for 6 weeks. And a lot of my students that come, they have all of the equipment at home. They have a wheel, they have a kiln, but they enjoy the sense of community of everyone getting together and creating something together. And it also gives them creative inspiration to be around other artists. And a lot of my students have told me that it's therapy for them. They can come and just forget about all their troubles and just create and have a good time with other artists creating.